Follow me with the pledge, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Guess we're here to speak tonight with Byron to that part of the budget. If, I guess Eric and Martin, if you want to clue the rest of the board in on where we're at, that would be great.
Well, we met with a group from both departments yesterday, last night actually. Their request was, the vote was the same for both departments. They were looking for $90,000, basically $45,000 for each department, which would, they're both getting $105,000 for a total of $210,000 now. Quite an increase. A lot of discussion on their costs, what their costs have done. One point, the truck that South Byron had bought, 18 months ago or something. The TV just bought the same truck for an additional $350,000 more than what they paid for that one. They went through the rest of the costs. We looked at their ongoing expenses and some of their needs, some of their capital needs compared to what they had spent this year and what they were forecast. And I kind of responded that 90,000, we weren't going to go there, that we had to meet somewhere in between. And after a lot of discussion back and forth, what they could do to create synergies between the two departments. We discussed, and even went back into several years ago when we talked to Fire District, how that would work. I thought one of the most interesting questions I asked during the night, if they did come up with a scheme of some sort for merged departments, how the personnel would work. And kind of the response I got was there'd probably be a few people quit. Well, the question I asked was, would they gain members, would they lose members, would the members stay the same? It seems though the consensus was that there'd be a few disgruntled people and the membership would actually get worse. And it's just not them. It's all it's fire departments everywhere. They're losing volunteers, and that I think everybody here's concern is that we're seeing we're not seeing the people who run the department. I mean, there's a lot of the folks that are getting elderly that have been there for many years. And we just aren't bringing in the new people to keep the labor force where it belongs. So that being the concern, going back and forth, I guess I offered the possibility of a 6% raise on 210,000. I did throw out another option. There was a lot of discussion there on what we could do to bring the departments closer together. I offered a 10% raise, giving 60% of the raise to Byron and 40% of the raise to South Byron. And my reason for that is solely on people. Right now, it appears that Byron's got a few more people. I think the number, I may be off on these numbers and made lots of notes, but I think Byron's looking at a force of 31 people. South Byron's looking at a force of 21. Of course, depending on the time of their getting called out, it makes a lot of difference how many people show up, and many times it's very difficult to get enough people, depending on the situation, the time of day, to man it. So, you know, that was the reason for that offer. I don't know if I got the votes on the board for that offer. I hope I could get we could get the 6%. So that's how the meeting ran down, and that's how we kind of left it last night.
So, totally agree with what Eric had said. So what we were thinking is, if you took that $205,000 budget, 210, and what my recommendation is on that 210 is to give Byron 60% of that additional, and South Byron 40%.
Can I interrupt just for a minute? The terms of the contract are not a valid discussion in this meeting. This meeting is about the town budget. And what the determination of the board has to be is how many dollars are you going to plug into the preliminary budget, so that you will then adopt a preliminary budget, which will go to hearing on November 1st.
So
The contract, how the money is to be divided, and what the terms of each of those contracts is going to be, is for further discussion between you and the departments and the company. And then, when the time comes and you've reached a resolution, you will then go to a public hearing and then adopt those contracts. This is not about the division. This is not about anything other than your budget.
Okay, so then, and thank you, Paul, for,
Okay?
so my recommendation is for, take the number of, let's use it, 210,000.
21,000 additional.
What, no, take the, just use the 210,000. And, if we're gonna, 10%, 6% of that goes.
No.
Just 10.
Okay.
So your total would be 231.
Right.
Thank you, John.
Yep.
Josh, your thoughts?
They've been at the same price or the same budget line for that amount for quite a while. Given the increase in expenses and everything else, I don't think that's an unreasonable advance.
Can I ask one other question? Have you included the $30,000 for the Byron Fire Department ambulance in that number? Or is that simply for firemanic?
It's not in there.
This is-
Council is not in there.
Okay, so the actual number that you're going to be working with is 261,000.
for appropriations for the fire district, yeah.
Correct.
Pardon my ignorance, and I gotta ask this, but is the 30,000 on the fire tax, or is that a separate line on the tax? It's in the fire tax.
It's in the fire tax because it's paid through Byron Fire Department.
Right.
Yes.
Separate line,
Yes.
but on your tax bill, it's just the fire.
Yeah, the ambulance is buried into the.
And that was a little confusing part when we talked last.
30,000 comes out.
We kept talking a number, and then that 30,000 kept coming up, and then Eric was just, and catching me up to speed, that was a 5-year term that, and just a note that.
It's renewable every year.
Yeah, for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Just how.
Yes.
Right there.
We did it last year, so it's 4 years.
4 more years, yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
okay, thank you.
Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, that's, how that gets dispersed is all still negotiable.
This is just what we're
So that-
appropriating.
this is
for-
just putting money into the budget.
We're just plugging numbers. That's, tonight,
All
we're gonna plug
that
numbers.
is to be determined yet.
Yes. I think a paper was distributed a while back, let's see, I don't have it in front of me. From, how far back did you go with that paper, Deb? 19? No, 17. 17. I know when Roger was here, there was a substantial increase. And then during,
I got it here, it went from
You got
78,000 to, I think it was 100 or 102.
And that was from 17 into 18 or 18?
2017
Into 18
was,
is what.
the 18 was a big jump.
Yeah,
17 to 18,
yes,
was how much, Gary?
25,000, better.
Yeah, it went from, I got it here, and I don't have 2018 number, but 2017, it was $78,570.
That's the same for 18.
2019, it was 100 even.
18
Now,
was
that
the
was in the
same.
both departments. You got double.
Right.
You got 18, Josh? I don't-
78,570 apiece was 18 as well. And then it went up to 100 apiece in 19, 102.
And it was 102 flat even for 3 years.
Yep.
That was during COVID, and that's when us county froze our sales tax
Yep.
for 40 years. And then, was there, I don't have that paper with me, what was there 2% last year or nothing?
We went from 102 to 105.
So it must have been 2% last year. Nothing the year before that?
No, the other,
No, it was-
before that is flat.
It was flat for 3 years.
Okay.
It's flat.
It's your wishes.
I like their recommendation.
Good with that?
I did go to the museum meeting on Monday, and they are fine with what we have in the budget for that. So that's, that was brought up at the last meeting, but that's all set. So, is there any other line that we were concerned about?
That's it. I think the rest of the budget is done except for, I believe. Dump is good, right?
Then I would make a motion to adopt the 2024 preliminary budget
I need a resolution.
or resolution?
So,
Resolution to adopt the 2024 tentative budget with the total amount allocated for fire protection to increase to $231,000 for fire protection plus the additional $30,000 for the ambulance, for a total of $261,000.
I'll sign it.
resolution made and second to, again, 261, the fire line for the budget. All aboard, Eric? Aye.
Aye.
Alright.
Okay.
And I make a motion to hold a public hearing on the 2024 preliminary budget on Wednesday, November 1st at 6 p.m.
Second.
Motion made and second to hold a public hearing for 2023 preliminary budget on Wednesday, November 1st. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. It's carried.
One question,
I have a question.
as I picked that date, but I have a question real quick, sorry. If we're not done in that initial first hour, are we gonna bump the planning board, or are we moving on to a different day? On the
I
first?
think you probably just read out on that one.
Just as I'm looking at my calendar.
Shouldn't be too long.
Okay.
Listen,
Did Jeff say 6 PM or 7 PM?
6.
Or I thought you said 6. I just wanted to confirm that.
Hopefully we're out of the room so planning board can have it at 7, so it's at 6.
So say that one, I'm sorry, November 1st is 6.
yeah, you see, planning board is in here at 7, so we should be fine. We good? You have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn the meeting tonight. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. It's carried.